Okay, Thursday, September 20th. Not a ton in the news today. Matt Pekka will be in the lineup again tonight for Montreal. Montreal's getting a good look at him. He's projected to play in the third line. Kotkaniemi's projected to play in second line. We'll see how this works out for them. The NHL may investigate the Zetterberg retirement slash LTIR. And here's why, and here's the reason that the whole cap recapture penalty exists. His cap hit is $6 million plus, but his salary for this year's $3.35 million, and he makes $1 million the 2 years after that. So if the NHL were to deem that he wasn't actually hurt and he could play, and this is just getting around the cap, that would lead to a cap penalty for Detroit. But Bill Daly was very upfront in saying that he knew that Zetterberg had been fighting with injury for years. He has no doubt that Zetterberg's legit hurt, and that it's just the league has to go through the motions and do this. I'm sure they did it with Marian Hossa last year as well. Columbus is not trading Artemi Panarin. You guys can stop worrying about it, stop deciding where he's going to go, what they're going to get back, because according to management, Columbus is not interested in trading Panarin. Also not interested is Mark Stone is denying that he wants out of Ottawa. So there's a rumor that came out that he wanted out, and that was reported a couple days ago. And Stone now is saying, no, I have no intention of leaving Ottawa. I feel bad for Stone and Duchesne. It feels like they're the two grown-ups that got left behind, and they're the two guys who are being left to kind of run the show. And I don't know that either guy is necessarily a franchise player you build around. So I feel bad for them that all the pressure's on them now. Jake Dotchin, who was waived and bought out by Tampa, was reportedly 30 pounds overweight when he showed up for training camp. And then the other part of the rumor that's out there is that he may have an addiction to Fortnite. And the other thing that was mentioned about this is that there are players that during the season want to play Fortnite with their bunkmates here, so they go and they get their hotel rooms. A player actually will buy a television set so they can play next to each other, and then when they leave the hotel, they leave the TV behind because you can't just take the TV with you on the plane. So there's guys out there in the NHL buying televisions just to play Fortnite. And it is an actual issue. This has started to become more and more of an issue. So while we kind of looked at it and went, seriously, this is becoming an issue. The way that it's working is that it's mostly the younger players, of course, that are playing it. And the veteran players are saying, no, when the hockey season starts, the video games go away. You're supposed to be concentrating on hockey, getting your rest, making sure that you've had your meal before the game and all of this, and not worrying about some silly video game. This is not hockey. You're making millions of dollars. Don't blow it on blow your time playing some video game. Tonight's games: Washington's in Montreal, New Jersey's playing the Islanders, Chicago, Detroit, Dallas, Minnesota, Winnipeg, Edmonton, San Jose, Anaheim. A split squad LA Kings are in against Vancouver, and split squads give the Canucks fits, and the Vegas Golden Knights are playing the other half of the LA split squad. So we'll see how things work out for Vancouver tonight, but last night was not encouraging. The other note that I wanted to mention here in today's news and notes, the same company out of Seattle that made the NFL helmets that they're currently using, which are considered to be concussion resistant. They're more of a shock absorber than the helmets before. They're now looking at the NHL. And they're saying, we can do the same thing for NHL helmets we did for the NFL. And I think this is going to come down to a couple of things. One, they have to get the okay with the NHL and the NHLPA. And then two, you're going to have to change players' minds on the helmets they wear. It took years to convince players to wear helmets. Then it took ages to convince them that wearing visors was a good idea. For a while there, if a player wore a visor, he was considered to be a coward. He was considered to be a Euro. Euro was used as an insult quite a bit. And now if these new helmets come out, and if they look goofy, for lack of a better term, there are times I look at the helmets in the NFL and I go, wow, that looks really goofy. But they're safer. And if helmets come out for the NHL that are like that, my guess is they probably won't be as aesthetically pleasing for the players. It's going to be a whole change, and then it becomes, does the NHL mandate they have to use them? Are they helmets that NHL players get to decide whether or not they use? It's going to be tricky, and it's going to involve an agreement between the NHL and the NHLPA to make it work. While they're at it, can they just slide in a brand new collective bargaining agreement and get that dealt with to like 2035 or something, so we never have to hear about it again? That would be nice. Anyways, that's an interesting note. We'll see where that goes. Right now, it's still in the infancy stages of things, but they do bring up a good point that while the league has got safer and the equipment's got better, you could definitely use a rebuild on some of the safety equipment in the league, and you might as well start with helmets. So let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.